I've never done a Pwnage video. People know me for being more about facts and not about the drama, and I've remained that way for about 2 years. But there's been a concept that's been stuck in my craw ever since VenomfangX presumably ran his Bible Barney series. I made comments on it, and when he returned, he repeated the same damn argument. This event came up. My channel is nothing but for the purpose of education, so after 2 years, I'm pwning VenomfangX, along with a surprise guest. I'm a microbiologist, so imagine my shock when I saw this video clip of our own special Shawn.
Encyclopedia Britannica documents that in 1845, a young doctor in Vienna named Dr. Ignaz Semmelweis was horrified at the terrible death rate of women who gave birth in hospitals. As many as 30% died after giving birth. Semmelweis noted that doctors would examine the bodies of patients who died, then without washing their hands, go straight to the next ward and examine expectant mothers. This was their normal practice because the presence of microscopic diseases was unknown. Semmelweis insisted that doctors wash their hands before examinations, and the death rate immediately dropped to 2%. Look at the specific instructions that God gave his people for when they should encounter disease. Quote, "And when he that has an issue is cleansed of that issue, he shall number of himself even days for his cleansing, and wash his clothes, and bathe his flesh in running water, and shall be clean." Until recent years, doctors washed their hands in a bowl of water, leaving invisible germs on their hands. However, the Bible says specifically to wash their hands under running water. While it is true that Semmelweis did not use the Bible to discover this, the fact that the Bible had this information for 3,000 years prior and was available to the world and Semmelweis but was ignored, to the detriment and deaths of countless people, is a testament to the fact that the Bible contains scientifically accurate information regarding the natural world.
So the Bible says moving water, and the doctors were using stagnant water? Wow, I'm glad he figured that out, so our doctors would use that today. Oh wait, that's not what happened at all. Let's go back a bit. Ignaz Semmelweis was a Hungarian physician who worked in a pediatrics ward with a massive level of deaths in childbirth. Clinic 1 with a horrendously high rate of deaths, and Clinic 2 which had a fairly low level. Germ theory hadn't been discovered yet, so what did he do? He used the scientific method. He analyzed the differences between the two clinics, with Clinic 1 as his subject and Clinic 2 as his control group. He eliminated several factors, like overcrowding, as Clinic 2 actually was more crowded. The only difference between the two is that Clinic 1 had a morgue in the building, and doctors would do post-mortems, then go deliver babies. Purpuric fever was atrocious, so Semmelweis told them all to wash their hands with running water, and they all lived happily ever after. The end. Oh wait, once again, wrong! Semmelweis told his doctors to wash their hands with chlorinated lime water, calcium hypochlorite, a compound very similar to bleach. It will turn your hands over time into a worn leather shoe, but it can save lives if you've got nothing better. Although I confirmed this with my old micro textbooks, this whole story is easily found in Wikipedia. That's right, Shawn didn't even think to question his religious site. Scientists make the assumption that someone might easily be wrong, so they go for multiple sources, or replicate the experiments themselves. Creationists just assume that anything told to them must be fact. Here's the thing, in the Bible, starting from the Indo-Aryan tradition, water was believed to have magical properties, and that's why the Bible was so keen on bathing. Not only did doctors in that time period not have running water that didn't have waste and garbage dumped into it, they also didn't have running water from the tap. I don't know if that has the same magical properties to meet the Bible's prescription treatment. What Semmelweis was up against was something no amount of running water would have helped with. Meet Streptococcus pyogenes. This little guy is what we call an opportunistic bacteria. It lives in the noses of about 20% of the population at any one time. An opportunistic bacteria is one that just hangs out doing no harm until it finds a weakness. The most important method used in microbiology is called aseptic technique. It requires one to be aware of their surroundings and everything you touch. It even involves being paranoid of contamination from the air. This is agar. It comes in many varieties depending on the bacteria you want to grow. How about we do an experiment? First, let's use aseptic technique. We have a vial of bacteria we want to grow on the agar. First step is to flame the loop till it's red hot to kill anything that might be on it. Next, we carefully dip the loop into the broth. Then we streak the plate. Then we flame it again to prevent spreading the bacteria everywhere now that we're done with the loop. Next, let's use Shawn's Bible method. Let's wash the loop under running water, dip the loop into the broth, then we streak the plate. Now wash again. Let's run a control without washing. I don't actually have to do this experiment. I know the outcome. Contamination was the curse of every microbiology student. 2 days later, at 35 degrees, you have your aseptic technique plate, your running water plate, and your non-washed. Zero difference between the non-washed and the running water. Oh, by the way, the aseptic plate is our friend Strep Pyogenes on a blood agar plate. He loves blood, and that's what happened. Doctors with their hands covered in multiple deadly pathogens directly inoculated a woman's uterus. Blood is just part of childbirth, of course, so there was a feast for our little friend. Strep Pyogenes also has another trick it can do. The white blood cells will use parts of the bacteria to tell what kind of cells to make by using a lock and key mechanism. Strep Pyogenes locks itself into the keyhole, causing the immune system to go crazy, causing septic shock and death. No amount of running water would have saved these women. Only the aseptic power of lime water would do. So there I did it. Shawn is pwned, but wait. Where did I see this video? On a video by Thunderfoot, and nowhere in his discussion did he even touch on this obvious utter falsehood or call Shawn out on this. Double pwnage! In Thunderfoot's defense, he's not a bio major, which is the great thing about science. We all have our specialties, and as Sagan said, don't try to go beyond your own level of competence when it comes to skepticism. We have experts for that reason.